Hello everybody, welcome back to another Virtual Tacos Mode Talking Points Monday. As you can see, we're a little different here today. We're not just an audio file with a PDF form. We're trying out a video! So this is going to be something we're going to try for the rest of Virtual Mode for Tacos. We're going to do these question videos for Mondays, and then on Wednesdays I'll do like an in-person video with the Bible talk, and then we'll keep everything pretty simple on Fridays with our pictures of motivation. But we're going to try this out and move forward with how we're advancing our virtual tacos mode and getting further into this form of what we're going to do for the reality right now. So let's dive right into the questions that we got for this week. We got our fun, thought-provoking questions, we've got our would you rathers, and we've got our social distancing questions. So let's get right into it. This first question for your fun, thought-provoking questions is, if humans were to colonize Mars, would you volunteer to go? Why or why not? So, for me, I'm probably going to stay on Earth. I like to keep life simple, I like to keep life predictable, and Mars isn't very predictable. And I think what my justification would be for this is, if you've ever seen the movie The Martian, I don't think I'd ever want to end up in a situation where I need to get back to my rover, there's a big storm that comes and buries me, and then I'm trapped on Mars living off of potatoes for who knows how long. Sorry if that's a spoiler, but I think that says a lot for where I don't want to be on Mars if it comes down to it. I wouldn't volunteer. If I was forced, then yeah, that's a different topic, but I wouldn't be the one volunteering to go live on Mars. So that's that question, yeah. And now, the next question, the next fun, thought-provoking question is, what is one of your biggest pet peeves? I always struggle with this question though. I have a few big pet peeves, but when asked about pet peeves, I can never simply be like, oh yeah, that's number one, that's definitely number one. It's always got to be happening to me and then be like, oh, that's right, that's one of my big pet peeves. It can never just be like, yep, that's... So I had to think about this one. And I think for me, something that you learned about me last week from the Would You Rather questions is that I like to be on time. I like to have time, and I like to be on time. I like to arrive early and be prepared. So I think one of my biggest pet peeves is when people aren't prepared, or when people are late, when I am late to things due to variables and circumstances that I can't control. I think that is probably one of my biggest pet peeves, because I'm a very timely person and I like to be prepared. So I think one of my biggest pet peeves right now that I'm thinking, is when circumstances bring to lateness. So those are your fun, thought-provoking questions. I'm looking forward to letting you figure out what your answers are for those. But now we're going to move on to the Would You Rather questions. So here are your Would You Rather questions. The first one is, would you rather time travel to the future or to the past? Now, I think my answer is dictated a lot with the same logic that I used in the first answer, and that I like to keep life predictable and simple. So I probably wouldn't go into the future, because the future is sort of unpredictable. I mean, even in this world that we're living in today, it's a little bit, we don't know where we're going to be in a little bit, but even down the road, I don't care to look into the future. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to go on this path. That's going to be great. And I probably wouldn't go too far in the past. I'd honestly probably go to somewhere in the early 2000s. And here's why. Because I grew up in the early 2000s, and it was a time where, technology is just coming up and up and up. And even thinking back now, life in early 2000s was a lot different than we have right now. And I catch myself thinking a lot of times oh, remember back to when I was a little kid, how things were, and sometimes it's hard for me to remember that. So even with all these cool things in the past, where I could go back and experience something, like the day that we landed on the moon, keeping with the planets, even though the moon is a planet, but keeping with that theme, if I could go back to that event, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably just go back to be okay, what was that day like in 2002? I don't know. That time fascinates me. So yeah, I would keep things simple. I would time travel just a little bit to the past. And I feel like if time travel is real and all these things that you see in the movie are real, the further you go back or the further you go forward, like, too many things can mess up. The closer you stay to this day, the better. I'm a very simple person. So keeping it simple with the would you rathers is Wade. So yeah, that's my answer. So the second question for the would you rathers is, would you rather read all the directions to like a direction packet, or would you like to just go by the pictures? Because they usually have the directions, like the word directions, and then the pictures. And a lot of times you can go by just the pictures. But my answer obviously has that tone where it's like a lot of times you can, but not always. So I'm someone who likes to read everything, and I'm someone who will sit there, read through something, look at the objects that I have that I need to put together or something, and then go back and read it, set it up to put it together, and then go back and read it again, and then do it. Like I have to get things correct, and like certain things like that, like putting together furniture, for example. It's tough. So I'm by the book. I'm gonna read all the directions on that would you rather. So yeah, those are your two would you rather questions. And now we're gonna move to our final two questions, the social distancing conversations. And I think they're good ones for this point in time that we're at in our social distancing world. So the first one is, what has been the hardest part about social distancing for you thus far? And I think for me, I find myself in this place where it's like, I'll never have this much free time in my life again, but then also feeling like, man, I really want to get back to my original routine. So I think I struggle with like building a routine every day, and just like the fact that that struggle with like, oh, this is so great having all this time, but like also like the world's circumstances, it's not all that great. Bad things are happening in this community and wider community, the state, the country, the world. So it's kind of like feeling guilty about that, but like also like I really want to get back into my routine. So I think I struggle with building a routine during this time. So I think that would be the hardest part for me thus far in social distancing. The second question, and our last question for today, is, what is something that I haven't done yet that I should try doing this during this time? So what is something that you've been talking about or have seen and you wanted to try, but you haven't gotten there yet, you haven't done it yet? And I think for me, it's expanding upon this virtual mode, what we're doing right here, right now, with creating a video and moving forward and upping the game for our virtual mode. I think that's something that I've been thinking about and I haven't tried it. And here I am, I'm trying it. I'm living out the questions right now. So I want you to think about that. What's something that you haven't done that you really should give a try, that you haven't done it yet? And now is an appropriate time to do so. So yeah, those are our questions for today's Talking Points Monday. I hope you enjoy listening to my answers. I hope you enjoy answering these questions. And as always, hit me up with your responses if you think these questions are really cool and you want to share some of your insight. So today, that's what we got. Be ready to look for some awesome things happening on Wednesday. As I said, we're going to up our game. You'll probably be able to see my face in that video. It'll be great. And then keep things looking forward to Friday as we get going this week. So yeah, have a good Monday. See you on Wednesday. I totally forgot to mention, we are having our virtual mode video chats on Tuesday and Wednesday. So Tuesday is high school at 6 o'clock, and then Wednesday is 6 o'clock as well for middle schoolers. And I have sent out links to most of you who have responded. If you haven't heard from me and you would like to receive a link for that video chat, this is the time to go and message me so that I can send you a link. So yeah, we're doing that as well. Keep that in mind. So I will see you either on Tuesday or Wednesday actually now. So Tuesday if you're high school and you want a video chat, Wednesday if you're middle school and you want a video chat, or back for some virtual tacos with our Bible talk. So yeah, have a good Monday. See you later this week. Enjoy yourself. Peace out.